I believe that the healing of the mind starts from the shift of the mindset, because I believe some of the beliefs or things that we believe in were simply handed over to us from when we were kids. So today I want us to talk about how healing starts with a shift in your mindset. So I think it's natural that from the day that we get born, we are usually programmed, to think in a certain way. And we are told what success looks like, what failure looks like, what career deserves respect, how to worship, how to live, and who to become. Sorry about that. Yeah. And without realizing it, we spend many of our years living like robots, just following what we were being told and following someone else's version of life. And not because we really chose it, but it's because we were taught that way, maybe by our parents, before, maybe by society. So we became, like robots, just following every belief that we were told. So we tend to follow routines in the society. We tend to chase goals as usual because everyone else is doing so. We also compare ourselves with everyone. Now there's social media. You can easily access information of many people from different parts of the world. So, but we never really stop at some point and ask ourselves, is this really what we want, with our lives? And I think that's where many people lose themselves in life. You find that some people are financially they are successful, but mentally they feel exhausted. And others are deeply spiritual, but they still constantly live in fear, You find a prophet or a pastor in church who believes so much in God, but still living in fear of, he preaches heaven, but still fears to die and go to that heaven. So it does not make sense. So there must be a program behind all this, human behavior. You will also find some people have the perfect, physically looking fit, the bodies, but they don't have inner peace. And others have whatever society asks for, but they still feel empty inside. So why? Why that? And I think because healing is not about fixing only one part of your life, but it's about renewing the way you see your entire life. So healing begins the day you give yourself permission to question everything in life. But I don't mean to rebel against the world, but it's just to understand yourself better and to be self-aware. So maybe you've been taught that your worth depends on your salary or how much wealth or richness you have. But what if your value has never been attached to your income? Have you ever asked yourself like that? Maybe you've been taught that being busy every single day means you're productive, Sometimes that's what people see, like if you're really working hard, that means you're being productive. But what if slowing down a little sometimes is exactly what your mind needs, And maybe you've believed that asking for help is a sign of weakness, especially for men, But in reality, for me, I think it can be one of the strongest decisions you'll ever make, So maybe you've spent years trying to impress people who are never really thinking about you in the first place. And this, I think, affects almost many people, in the world, trying to impress people that don't really care about you. So, guys, I'm in Japan right now and I'm in a very nice, serene environment, very quiet, very calm. And I'm just taking a walk. Anyway, what were we saying? Where was I? About impressing people, yeah. So I think healing asks you one simple question. So ask yourself, who are you when you remove everyone else's expectations from your life? And I think that question is very uncomfortable to many people because we like pleasing and conforming to societal values and societal beliefs. But it's also incredibly freeing when you ask yourself that question. So, because the truth is, your mind cannot heal if it's constantly trying to live according to someone else's standards, So, I think real healing happens when you stop comparing your journey with everybody else's journey. So, when you stop trying to win competitions that you really never signed up for, and when you stop chasing trends, worldly trends, social media, you need to get a new car, you need a new phone. Once something comes out, a new fashion, you need to go and buy it. Man, you're gonna get exhausted very fast. So instead, I think you need to start listening to your inner self more. You need to start being more intentional, in everything that you're doing. You need to forgive your past mistakes. And you need to understand the fact that not every opinion deserves your peace of mind or your time or your energy. And little by little, let me show you our horse, guys. A horse here in Japan. Yeah, that was a very nice. This is how close you can get to a horse. Anyway, let's go back to our topic. Yeah, so as I was saying, when you do this little by little, your thoughts become lighter and your decisions become very clear. And your life starts becoming very authentic. You become unique. You become you. Okay? Now, this doesn't mean rejecting everything you've ever learned in your life. But I think it simply means that having the courage to examine your beliefs or all the beliefs that you are taught and to ask yourself, does this belief really still serve me and who I really am? Because you also need to ask yourself, is this belief really helping me become a better human being? Or have I simply carried it or conformed to it because everyone else is doing the same thing? Because some beliefs will remain and others will change. And that's okay. Growth, I think personal growth often looks like changing your mind. And the healthiest people I know are not the ones with perfect lives. They are the ones who continue learning every day, who are willing to admit that they were wrong, who are open to seeing life from a different perspective. And this place looks good. And who choose peace over proving a point or wanting to become right every time. And I think at the end of the day, healing is not really the destination. It's a journey. It's a lifelong journey, It's a journey of becoming more self-aware, becoming more intentional, and more compassionate, not only towards people, but also towards yourself. So, I would like to ask you, so what belief have you been carrying for years that no longer serves the person that you are becoming right now? Take some time and think about it. And please consider subscribing. Thank you for watching. Take care of your mind. Ja, matane.